Hey guys, what's up? So today I wanted to make a really quick video and just show you something that I think is super cool that I am doing with the Cybertruck. So I got a hold of a monitor that it was like 300 bucks on Amazon. It's not bad. It's a dual screen. It folds up just like a laptop. Let me show you here. I'm gonna turn this camera around if it will let me. There we go. So check that out. So right now I am running Helldivers 2 over here, and I'll try to make sure that this is lined up there for you guys. So I am running Helldivers 2 down here off of my ROG Ally X with Thunderbolt connection, right? This monitor has dual HDMI outputs and the Thunderbolt and a power port. So that's really cool. It folds up. So it folds up like just like a laptop. So you could leave it on the back seat here, just like this, open it up. You've got dual screens, but something else that's really cool. And I had said this in my Mac Mini video is that I can come in here, and I hope you can see this. I can come in here and I can change this to be HDMI. So now I can run my, if it will come up, there we go. I can run my Mac Mini up here. I can run my ROG Ally up here. I could run a PS5. I could run an Xbox if I wanted to plug it in. And that is all because, and I'll show you this real quick. So down here, and I don't have this cabled really nicely. I literally just threw this together to show you what I was playing around with, something I think is cool. So I've got my Mac Mini down here, and then I've got it connected up to this port right there. So you've got your 120 plug up here. Now you do have to turn this on in the truck, but you can do a setting where if you start the truck, so the minute you turn on the truck, right, what it will do is actually turn on the plugs when you get in the truck. So if you say, don't want to have to remember to always turn on the plugs to turn on the Mac or to turn on the power, you can do that. That's really cool. Most people know that with the Cybertrucks, but if you don't, that's just a feature that you have. You can also turn that off because it does use the battery if you're not using, if you're just leaving the truck set. But another thing that's really cool, and I have this app and I downloaded it. I want to show it to you. So I'm going to turn the camera around again. So this right here is my iPad, and this is in the front of the truck. And so I can connect, this is Duet Pro. I can connect to any of my Macs, any Android, any PC, and iPhone, whatever, and all those different devices can control each other, right? So I can use my iPhone to control my iPad, my iPhone to control my Mac, vice versa, Android to control my Mac, however you want to do it. But I can click this. Now, right now, if you'll see here, it is running off my home Wi-Fi, so I'm outside, it's a little delayed, so expect that. But I can touch this. It gives you your displays, which one you want to choose, and look at that. So that Mac Mini display you saw back there, now I've got, let's go ahead and I'll say not now, I have turned my Mac Mini into a touchscreen using this app. Now I can blow this display up. I'm not going to worry about it right now, but I'll just show you some of the stuff. So you can use Apple Pencil on this. So I can use my pencil. It's a little finicky. It's not quite one-to-one like using your pencil on your iPad, but it works. You can do audio sharing. I disabled it right now because I'm outside, and if you're on a really strong Wi-Fi connection, that works really well. And then you'll get sound from your Mac Mini or whatever you're connected to. You will get that through your iPad, which is really neat. You've also got gestures, so you can do a whole bunch of stuff with just gestures, which is really cool. And you've got smoothing, which I do have that enabled. That helps this a little bit. And I can come over here though, I mean, look at that. I have a touchscreen Mac. That is just super cool. I can turn on FaceTime. Obviously there's no FaceTime camera connected, so it's not gonna do anything. I can open my apps here. But you'll notice I'm like interacting with this with my my iPad, which is cool. I can also use my mouse. So I've got my trackpad down here on my keyboard. I can use my keyboard, so I can go up in here and I can just, type like that. I mean, I've got a full, display computer setup with this, and I can hardline this. I'm not right now hardlined, but you can hardline this to the Mac. You do lose audio display. You do lose audio relay basically. So you cannot share the audio when you do the hardline. But if you hardline, you lose all of that lag from Wi-Fi, and then guess what? You don't need to have this connected to Wi-Fi. So I could use this in the truck and as my display for my Mac Mini. And that is just something that I think is super, super cool. So that's the Duet app. It does cost money, so you can do a 7-day trial, or I think it's like $70 a year or $230 if you look on their website for like, I think it's lifetime of the program. And I'm contemplating buying it because I have a lot of different Macs and it would be really cool to control them from, you know, whatever device I'm on, and maybe I need to get into it for some reason. And I love that I can have a display. I can use my iPad, and yeah, we have Sidecar and it works as a display, but we don't have a touch feature. Like, you can't interact with the Mac using it, you know, as a touch screen really. So it's not perfect. I will not say that it is the most amazing thing that I've ever used, but it is definitely really, really cool. And once you set it up, another thing, I'm gonna come back here in the back real fast, and the camera's gonna lose me. Thank you, camera. But yeah, you can set it up to where, let's say that you had the Mac Mini plugged into the truck, you figured out where to mount it. I have it on the floor, not the best spot, but I have it down there just now for the demo purpose, right? And you had this dual screen back here. So you can set this up to where when the Mac loses power, which I know isn't great for computers to just, you know, turn off if the power blips or whatever, but probably not the worst thing for them, but it's also not amazing if you're saving files, but I'm not saving files, right? I'm not doing it, just idle. And so it'll power off, and then set up an account for security purposes, set up an account that's like got restricted permissions that auto logs in. You go into the system settings and you go into user settings and profiles and you set that up, and it gives you the ability to have the truck, you turn that little switch on that turns on all the outlets when you get in the truck, and then that would turn on your Mac Mini, and boom, you've got a Mac Mini hooked up to dual monitors in the back if you want to. You can put an iPad on, or sorry, you can put a PS5 on this. You can do your ROG Ally X. I mean, nice big screen on the ROG Ally X, but this, I mean, I'm sorry, this is a whole lot better. Look at that. That is just really, really nice. Not terrible in terms of quality either. I honestly, so I play on my 4K monitor inside, and it actually really degrades this, but this almost mirrors what you see in the handheld, because obviously the handheld is a little bit better resolution just natively on the device, right? And yeah, this is not running anything crazy, and I do have to have internet for this, so you're gonna need to have some kind of tethering if you wanted to play an online game, but it gives you the ability. And I wanna show you real quick. So one thing I did do, and I just lost power to the entire truck because I shut the truck off. That's awesome. So we'll wrap this up real fast. But the car shut down because I'm not doing anything, so it went ahead and went into sleep mode. So right here, I've got a tactical belt. And I don't know if you can see under here, and I don't have everything perfect. I just literally threw this together for the video. I've got a piece of Velcro under here that is holding this, basically supporting this monitor under here like it would be resting on a table, holding onto this belt. So it basically creates the pressure that, like, if the monitor was on a table. And I mean, that's pretty solid. I don't know, I mean, I'm wiggling that. So if you're going over bumps or something, you know, shut it. You don't want to be having that open. So I'll walk around to the front, just show you real quick. So right up here, and this camera is really fighting me. So right here is just a military tactical belt, duty belt type setup. And I've got this around, so it's nylon, it's not super hard. So if you were to put your head against this headrest, it wouldn't interfere with anybody sitting in the truck. And I mean, you could put one over in the driver's side, so you could have, you know, 4 monitors back here. It's just a really cool setup, I think. And it's really, I mean, this belt is probably $30 total, maybe 50. The monitor is $300. Now I did see it for $200 and I believe $30 on sale, so you can get it cheaper. And I'll throw a link down in the description just to show you, you know, so you can look it up if you want to. Obviously we've got the Mac Mini. I did the video on that, and this is not a video of like, oh, it's, you know, supposed to be super technical or anything like that. It's just what you can do with the truck, right? Like, I love the fact that I have a regular wall outlet plug, 2 of them actually in the you know, inside of the truck, 2 in the bed, but I can plug in anything I want. And yes, Tesla does not give us the ability to cast or connect an HDMI, which I really think is stupid. We've got these two great monitors in the truck. There's no reason, and in Teslas generally, I mean, the new Model 3 has two, S, X, all of them have monitors. There's no reason we shouldn't be able to somehow cast to that, like whether it be Chromecast, you know, something like Apple AirPlay, whatever it is. That would be really, really cool. But since you can't, that's kind of what this video is about. It's just showing you something cool you can do in the truck if you own a Cybertruck, or honestly, if you owned a Rivian. I don't know if they have indoor, I don't know if the Rivians have indoor or inside plugs for their trucks, but if they did, you could run a, you know, anything inside the car. So it's really cool. Yeah, it draws from the truck, so you're gonna have that, but I really, really like this, and I'm super excited about it just because it's something like if my son's back here, we went on a road trip. That video is gonna be coming out here pretty soon. We went on a road trip, and in fact, it may be out by the time I get this video out, and we went up to Georgia. We charged, had no problem with the truck, but I'll leave that for that video. But one of the things is he was sitting back here and he could watch YouTube, but he couldn't use that display to do anything else. So he still had to get his tablet out, and he was holding it and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, so this setup here would have been really nice to have back then, or during that time rather, because he could have put his tablet up here. He could have put whatever put your iPhone up here. If you have a USB-C, you know, a new iPhone 15 or whatever it is, you know, 16, you can cast it to this. Like anything that supports a Thunderbolt 4, you know, output, basically USB-C, you can cast to this. You can hook it up to this. You do have to have power. It requires, I think, a 40-watt plug that it comes with, and it comes with the HDMI cables and the Thunderbolt 4 cable. But if you want to run both displays, you've got to hook it up to power, or you've got to hook it up to a device that supports that level of output. The ROG Ally does, the Mac Mini I believe does, and of course a laptop, but I don't think your iPhone does. I think it only goes to like one of the screens. So just something really cool. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Again, this is supposed to be like super fast, just showing you something cool you can do with the truck. I'm really enjoying the truck so far. There's been no issues. I know there is a new recall on the truck. I did check mine. It's not in the serial numbers, or the VIN numbers rather, not serial numbers, VIN numbers that are recalled. Mine is not a part of that, so that was really cool. I was happy about that. But yeah, if you liked the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, share. I'll be making more Cybertruck videos, playing around with things, seeing cool stuff. I've got an accessory video I want to make of things I've added to the truck, just because they're things that I thought it needed, and also things I had planned on getting anyway if I ended up with a Cybertruck. And so yeah, I'll share those with you, and we will see you in the next video.